What's going on, people? So I have what is this, 3 boxes of shoes to pick to open up real quick. So I think two arrived yesterday, one arrived today, right? So I don't know if that detail matters to anybody. I'm guessing not, but it's a thought that came to mind. And oftentimes, if I'm sitting here doing videos and stuff, whatever comes to mind tends to come out. You probably noticed that if this isn't your first time around. But either way, let's go ahead and see what's going on in here. This is a Nike box. They do make these pretty easy to get into, so that's pretty convenient. Let's go ahead and open this thing up, see what's going on though. Okay, like I said, Nike box, right? Though, just because it's a Nike box doesn't mean that's the only place you get one of these, right? I get these from Foot Locker and stuff all the time. So, let's show you the side of the box. It'll be blurry and out of focus, but there it is. So there's that. Now, opening this thing up here, see what's going on, what are we looking at, and all that stuff. So, it's not really the typical pickup for myself here. This is a Penny 2, I think that's what it's called, right? Penny 2 QS, and Atlantic blue and white and black, okay? So yeah, the Penny 2, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're talking about up first. So, just looking these over real quick, make sure there's nothing wrong with them. They look fine. I don't think there's any blemishes or whatever, other than just minor quality control that kind of isn't so great, but that's fine. We're just going to jump on into it. So, like I said, Penny 2 and blue and white right now. I'm sure a lot of people have seen these before, right? It's not new. And myself, I'll tell you, I've seen these before, but it was way back in high school, and I just remember thinking, that's kind of cool, right? I don't know what those are, but I kind of like the way they look. And that was it. I just never worried about it again. And then I saw them on the Nike webpage a few months back. And I thought, well, that'd be cool to have. Maybe I'll get those. But they sold out immediately because that's just kind of how things are on there. Sometimes it's just like they just label it as sold out, but then there's more sizes later. And that's what happened here. They were sold out, sold out. And then I looked later and they had all the sizes, but I had already told myself, well, I missed out, whatever. I didn't want to pay 200 and something dollars for those anyway. Fast forward a bunch of months, and I was able to get these for $90, I think it was, because they had some deal where they had, discounted them, but there was another coupon code for an extra 25 or 35% off. And I figured, okay, for something that I don't really want, $90 is fine. So yeah, let's talk about it real quick. Down there on the bottom, that's what that looks like down there, which is new to me. It's kind of cool. I do like that. That little 1 cent thing going on down there in the back, right? Then looking at it from the side, you got some air bubble thing happening back there, which is always nice. And otherwise, I don't know what this thing is called, but it's what stood out to ninth grade Tristan, right? I saw these and I was like, huh, that's interesting, right? Back when these were new, so I guess 96 or so, whatever. But as for the rest of it, I can't really get into the details of the breakdown of this or why it looks this way or any of this dude's accolades while he wore this. None of that means anything to me. I'm a visual guy. I saw this. I liked it back then, and I thought one day maybe I'll have a pair. Well, it took 20 years, but here we are, right? Actually, more than that, because it would have been, like I said, 96. So it took a long time, but here we are. And I will say this, I'm not blown away by them, but I think they do still look pretty cool. So there's that piece of it. Down on the inside, got a little Nike Air thing going on, right? Can you see that? Kind of, sort of. Then again, a lot of blue, and that's going to be some kind of suede type of thing. It's not anything great or whatever, but it feels fine, right? Though the biggest question I had about these is because basketball shoes, at least to me, tend to fit weird, usually big, right? Because again, I'm a big running shoes guy, so I have my preference of how things fit on my feet. And I was wondering, is this going to work out all right? Well, I'm about to find out. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, not the biggest of deals because, you can deal with it one way or the other, right? And yeah, this is fine. It feels, and it might just be the lacing, but in some areas it does feel a little bit loose, but it doesn't feel like that's a problem of size. It feels again, just maybe tightened up here or there. And lengthwise, I'd say that feels pretty good. You don't have a whole lot of room left to right in these, so if you're one of those wide-footed people, I mean, I guess that could be a problem. But when you look down there, right, you can kind of see it does get a little narrow a little bit down in here, right? See what I'm talking about? Yeah. So for me, it's not really a problem, right? But for some other people, could be a problem. I don't know. But I think they still have a fair amount of sizes left because, again, nobody was buying these at full price. But now that they are discounted, they might be moving a little quicker. I don't know. Head on over to Nike.com and find out, right? If you care. I mean, if you don't care, then save yourself the clicks and don't worry about it. Let's move on to the next box here. See what's going on in this one. Not sure which one this is because they're upside down. So otherwise, I can tell you if it's from like Champs or if it's from Adidas, which one is which. So we're gonna find out together, people. That's how this is gonna work out. So there you go, Adidas at the top, limited collection on the side, which I don't know if that's actually accurate or not. And then there you go, Samba, Messi, something or other, whatever else it said down there. I don't know. So since this is the black pair, this came from Champs, right? And it's not that Champs only had the black pair. It's just that, well, give me a second. So obviously at this point, like you probably have guessed that the other box is going to be the pink pair, but we're just going to do this one real quick here, I guess. Make sure things look like they're fine or whatever. So yeah, Nike, excuse me, Champs, they originally showed both pairs on the website, and I was like, okay, well that's cool, right? I think I want the pink ones more. They're not even for me, so I don't. So it's not that I wanted them. I bought them for my brother because I bought him a Messi jersey, like whenever those came out, like it was like, I don't know, the higher priced one, because I guess it was more authentic or something. So from the Adidas page, whatever that was called, I don't know. I got that for him, and then I saw these shoes, and I thought, well, maybe he'll like these shoes to go with it, right? So I was going to get him the pink ones, but then Adidas was Champs like, hey, we have those for boys, but we have the black ones for men. I was like, well, okay, I guess I'll just do that. But then Adidas came along and they're like, hey, we have the pink pair and the black pair. And I was like, well, I already ordered the black pair, but I'll get the pink ones from you. And this is the pink pair. Champs did show the pink pair later on their website, It's just they didn't have it up front. I see a lot of these cardboard boxes when I get collaboration type shoes straight from Adidas. So it's kind of sucks that they didn't put one on the black pair because it would just be a nice little touch for them to be the same, but whatever. So there you go. Like that's why that's all looking very much the same, right? Same thing you just saw. I just need to get these out real quick so I can talk about them. And someone said hello. I didn't really get a chance to read the name, but hello to you too, person. Hope your day is going all right. Okay. All right. There we go. There's that. So now we got these both out here. I'll take one right and one left so that way you can see both at the same time. This right here, the Adidas Samba Messi International something or other. I don't know. Maybe only one says that because, yeah, one says Enter Miami, the other just says Messi. I don't know what the deal is with that. I'll figure that out later, I guess. But here we go. Looking at these right here, I think they look pretty all right. And even though I wanted, again, they weren't for me, but I wanted this one more for my brother. But I actually like this black pair more now that I have them in hand. So, interesting. And I didn't think I would actually like these myself, but now that I'm looking at them, it is actually a pretty nice design, right? Might need to show you both. No? Okay, cool. So first off, down on the bottom right, they're both looking the same down there because, it's really the same model. It's kind of like a grid sort of deal happening with that outsole there. There's a better angle of it, I guess. So seems fine. Side view, basically all the same, right? Kind of similar to a lot of shoes that look like this. Are you an inch and sound like one? I'm not sure exactly what that means, but technically, yes, I am an engineer. So that's weird. But either way, this right here, the pink one, it has a slightly different logo on the top, just kind of skipping around a little bit. Because this one, I don't know what that is. It looks like an M, probably for Messi, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe for Miami. And this one, it's not really showing up because it's a little dark over here. or a little light so like it looks super dark. You know how that works. But there you go. There's that for you. Is that kind of showing up a little bit? That's a Miami thing. So yeah, sun is in a weird spot right now. So what can you do? So that's like the only difference on these, right? Otherwise, you got like some of this cheap feeling leather on the outside here, a little bit of suede on the front piece. None of these materials are great. And the reason for that is that these are $100, right? So if you were expecting great things for $100, well, you should not do that because you're going to disappoint yourself. Though Asics can come pretty close. I've seen some really cheap things with some really nice quality over there. But anyway, so now I'm going to slip this one on real quick because I need to see how this fits because we both wear the same size, right? My brother and I, which is why I can like give him stuff and it will fit because again 9.5. So if these work for me, they will work for him, which is kind of an upside to it. And yeah, this is actually a really good fit, and they don't feel too bad either. Like this is, I mean, it does look like you have a lot of room in the back based on like how you like wear your shoes, right? You got a little extra room right up in there, but I think again, they're laced pretty loose, so that there is that piece of it. But I'll know later on. I don't know how I'm going to do the video for these, if I'm going to do the actual on foot or whatever, because they're not really mine, but I don't think he would care either. So maybe I will do the full video. But one thing that I don't like with certain shoes, especially something like this, it is going to be a little slippery back there. It's like that leather stuff. So if they are kind of loose already, the heel slippage thing is going to be in full effect on these. So that's something that I'll have to figure out later. Generally, you just tighten them up just a little bit, something like that. Maybe wear some thicker socks to kind of like give you a way to fill in the shoe a bit more. That's what I would do, right? And that's what I actually do when it's necessary. But all in all, these here messy samba shoes are actually looking pretty all right. I was really thinking that this pink pair would be the one, but now I'm glad I got both. And the reason I got both, again, is because I wanted this pair, but I only saw this one, and then I saw this one later, and I was like, oh, okay, so that is actually for men also. But I'd already made this order, so here we are with both of them. But there's that. So I don't have anything else to talk about, so I'm going to do a real quick recap of things and whatnot for the people who might be just showing up. Started off with this. What is this? A Penny 2 QS? Usually means quick strike. I assume that's what it meant in this case too. But here we are several months after these came out, and they're still super available. When was this thing made? June of 23. So yeah, so a year ago. So I mean, I don't know if you had to be super quick about it. And then obviously finished things off with these right here, the Inter Miami and the Standard Miami. I don't know. I have to look back at that, see what's really going on with that. I'm not a soccer guy. I don't really know how this stuff works. So there we go. There's that. All three, all around, true to size. So that was pretty cool. That's it for me. So I'm going to close this video out. If anybody has anything that they want to say to me, they want me to answer some kind of question or get my thoughts on some kind of thing, this is that window where you get on your little keyboards or your phones or whatever you're doing, maybe a little talk to text thing, whatever. This is your moment. From me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I am done recording things. I hopefully will have a review out later this week. I'm planning to do some editing tonight or tomorrow night. What is today? Yeah, tonight or tomorrow, and hopefully get that out on Thursday morning, right? It's not going to take a lot of time, honestly. If I was to close this thing down, I'd have that video up in about 3 hours, I would say, between editing, encoding, uploading, and tagging, all that SEO nonsense on the on the other side of that. But I'm not in a rush, so whatever, it'll happen when it happens. So that's what's going on my end, right? Now, let's address these comments. I got those pennies for myself back in December, super expensive, but since I thought they were QS, I thought I better grab them. Now they're super cheap. Yeah, that's a thing that happens a lot, which it sucks in some ways, but if you really wanted it, then you tend to not care. That's where I sit. I see stuff go on sale after I've paid several dollars for it. Whatever, I wanted it. The only time it kind of bothers me is if it's stuff that I just like thought would be interesting to have, and so I just jumped on it a little too early. Then it's like, that kind of sucks. What outfits will you wear with the pennies? I don't do outfits, dude. I don't know if you've ever seen the random pictures of me and videos or whatever. I don't. It's not my thing, right? If you want fashion advice, you got to talk to like almost anybody else because I just cannot care less how I look. It's probably not like a good trait to have, but whatever. That's me. So I'll be open and honest with you. So there we go. That was easy. Cool. Thank you guys for keeping it simple. But that's going to be it for me. I'm going to move on, go knock out some stuff. Actually, I need to record one of those little remember these videos, talk about some Air Max 90s. I'm going to go knock that out too. Thanks again for showing up. I do appreciate it. But please have your day back. Go make something of it, something better than this.